You alright there, guys? It's Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, and it's Monday again, so it's the ramble time. What's been going on this week in the hobby? Quite a bit, actually. I've managed to complete a project, which is the epic terrain, which was on the last video, which I'm really happy about. So that's something of the 9-month challenge that's done. Still haven't managed to find the tripod. This is why you're coming at a different angle. You're resting on my paint stand again. I've gone back to doing a bit of epic stuff this week. So 6mm Warhammer Epic. I'm just in the middle of painting a Titan and bits and bobs at the moment. Once I've I'm not going to completely finish this. This is going to get, I'm going to base coat it all, I guess. As soon as it's base coated, I'll give it a quick wash. Once this is washed, it's the Imperial Fist side of things. I'll leave it, and then I'll do anything extras like details and stuff later on. But after that, I'm probably going to start working on one of the bolt action armies this weekend. Well, say this weekend because obviously I'm on call at the moment, and I'm not lucky enough. I got called out last night at about 2:30 in the morning, and I was at work till 10 this morning. So I've been on rest time. So I've only just woken up about half an hour ago. But I'm back on call again tonight from 6, so I've got a couple of hours maybe just to get some food and get this video up. But that's me going off on another tangent. But yeah, North Koreans, I'm still waiting on parcel from Geek Gaming, Luke APS's stuff. Obviously I had a problem with them, and they're sending out the replacement stuff in the post. Hopefully that's been posted off today, so I should have it either tomorrow or Wednesday. It does say 1 to 3 days, but hopefully, because I've had issues, they'll send it sooner rather than later, which would be nice, and I can give you a review on some of that stuff as well. If you're a war gamer, you've probably seen Luke's channel. It's a really good channel. I do like it. He does a lot of good tutorials on there, especially with working with resin and things like that. Yeah, quite handy. That's how I learned to work with resin, was watching one of his epoxy resin one. I did it. It's like a 50-50 mix. And it hardens a lot quicker than the other type of resin. But yeah, waffling on again. But Ken, that's the whole point of these videos. It's a ramble. Yeah, but I've got to stay on topic, haven't I? Now I'm talking to myself. Yeah, that's what On Call does to you. But yeah, these little Warlord Titans, they're from Adeptus Titanicus. So obviously I got this set second hand, all this epic stuff second hand. I did have it when I was younger, but I didn't know what it was, so just we made up our own rules. Didn't really even know what Warhammer was, to be fair. Made up our own rules. But yeah, this is meant to be Fire Wasps. They're Legio. I can't remember the Legio, but they're one of the really famous Legios. I'm just literally going to put some hazard strips across on the top here. You can probably see. I'm going to do it on the black, just there. I'm going to put some hazard stuff and possibly just there. I'm trying to keep it because obviously I know that Games Workshop have brought out new Titans that, well, they look a lot better, but I'm trying to keep it aesthetically like it's all the old stuff. I'm trying to keep it like that. So that's the Loyalist side at the minute, and the Iron Warriors, obviously, they're a whole separate project. But yeah, I'll tell you what I was lucky enough to get. I was lucky enough to get one of these Reaver Titans, all metal, which is quite cool. She's there. He's going to get painted up in these colours as well. Waiting on 3D printed stuff to come out to me as well. Ordered that a while ago. Still waiting for it to turn up, which is fine. I'll do a little review of that when it comes. But main topic of tonight's ramble is going to be about storage, and what I use to store my models, and what I would recommend with the products I've used. How to do cheap storage, how to do really expensive storage if you want, but just keeping your stuff nice and safe. So what we'll start with, your very basic stuff, is a box. So normal run-of-the-mill box. I had to cut it because, like a Gumbo, I put my address on the internet. No, thank you. Rather not. But yeah, just like cardboard box, and you can. Got a couple of options with this, right? keep your models safe. They don't need to look pretty and organised if you don't want them to, in regards to, you put them in a cardboard box and you use bubble wrap just to keep them safe. You can get bubble wrap for £1 in the pound shop in the UK. I don't know what, probably in the dollar store over in the States and that. But yeah, it's pretty cheap to come by. So that is your ultimately cheap storage for your models. Anyone can do that, nice and cheap. It doesn't cost next to nothing. Next up, you've got, you can make something like organised cardboard trays. So you could get a cardboard tray, and then you get another bit of cardboard and cut out to length sections along and little sections deep of how you how big you want the space. It's good for custom stuff as well. So it might not look the best, but really handy for custom bits and bobs. So for example, you get a big box like that, you could put a knight in there. It doesn't have to be surrounded in foam, does it? Let's think about this logically. It doesn't have to be surrounded in foam, as long as you've got something that's protecting it around the model, and you're carrying it just to and from somewhere. Happy days. So you could, in theory, get a big box like that, stick the knight in it, and then get stuff like to fill out the outside. So like just torn paper, cardboard, whatever you want, just to go around the knight base. What you could do is then you could, for example, glue all that together so it goes hard. I don't know, a bit of watered down PVA or something, so it forms a nice solid thing. Put a bit of bubble wrap around it, a bit like a mould really, and then obviously you take the knight out, and you should be able to put that knight back in and out without having to worry about it being damaged. But that's another bit of storage for that. Or you've got like the epic stuff you can buy in tool shops. You can buy the little dividers. I use them for work, for pads and EQs, for telecom stuff. They're small little bits and bobs, but ideal compartment size for 6mm sort of stuff. Normal blokes, normal men, like bolt action. Again, you can just get a really thin cardboard box that's not very deep. If you've got like set it or however deep you want to do it, and you can just customize it. So you just create your own custom spaces and put bubble wrap inside just to keep it nice and safe, and you can divide those up. So that's your cheap options. Then you've got like you've got different companies. You've got KI, you've got Tabletop Tyrant, you've got Games Workshop. There's loads. I could keep going. There's just loads of companies that do all these custom foams. I know KR is really good. I was looking online. KR is really good for actual custom games. So if you want stuff to fit your specific stuff, so like I've got Drop Zone Commander KR case, which we got from Warfare this year. It's been custom made to fit my army in it, to fit my models, but obviously you pay the old price tag for that. You do pay a lot more. My favourite, because I own a couple, I own Games Workshop's cases, and I also own the Tabletop Tyrant, and my favourite money is Tabletop Tyrant. If you guys don't know what that Tabletop Tyrant is, I'm sure you do. You've probably seen their stuff before. I'll put a link below anyway if you haven't. Black Friday sale. I don't know if they're still doing it at the minute. They were on Black Friday. They did a 20% off for the weekend, but I'm not sure because it is Cyber Monday. Let's have a little look. Just have a quick little look. Tabletop Tyrant. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't look like they're doing it anymore, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. Looks like they only did it for Black Friday, but they were doing 20% off. And to be fair, the cases are pretty cheap anyway. I've got the actual Tabletop Tyrant case, which is the standard loadout, which is like 8 infantry trays and a 75mm pluck and pick foam tray. You can see the review on the channel for that. I'll link that below as well, or in the corner there, it will pop up, just to show you a link to that video. Yeah, fantastic. I love that case for 50 quid, because it's normally 50 quid. It was 40 quid, but for 50 quid, absolute bargain for bolt action. You can fit so much in there. the pluck and pick stuff. You know, you pull it out, you can fit tanks, you can fit artillery pieces, mortars, you know, with the round bases, anything really you can fit in there. And the trick with that stuff is, instead of laying it flat, try and put it on its side, because I find the profile of models are a lot thinner than they are like across, so you can cram more in, which is just a little tip there for that. But yeah, Tabletop Tyrant, love it, absolutely love it. For the price, I definitely think it's the one of the better cases out there on the market. Then you've got obviously Games Workshop stuff. You've got the older Games Workshop stuff where they do actual slots, which you can get second hand now. They don't actually sell it anymore. I bought a couple of these cases second hand. I'm not a massive fan because I don't think the slots were very big. Especially I think they were more designed for 25mm bases than they were 32. Because a lot of Games Workshop stuff's now on 32. So if you've got Space Marines, they're 32. Necrons 32. I'm pretty sure Guard is still on the 25mm bases. I'm pretty sure, but Orcs now they're on 32mm bases. It does look better, but obviously the older stuff isn't designed to fit 32mm bases. You've got the newer ones, which I've got 2 cases for, the Crusader cases. I think the biggest, not the big one they did one limited run for Apocalypse. I haven't got those. I've got the one that's normally the biggest one. I've got 2 of those, and yeah, you can fit a lot in it. Don't get me wrong, you can fit a hell of a lot in it. But again, the problem I have is I try to cram too much into that space because I want to utilise as much as I can, and I end up having models pushing against each other. And when I shut the case, it all sometimes goes a bit funny, and I can get damage, or I can get paint chipping on metal models. I've had that before. But for storing bigger models like knights and stuff like that, yeah, they're really handy because they've got the nice big trays. You can do it with the tabletop stuff. They do a custom foam insert for it, but again, it takes up, if you buy the Tyrant case, it pretty much takes up the whole allocation, because you can choose your own stuff as well on there, which is quite cool, but it does take up things. So it's 50 quid for one storage of a model. I personally, if I'm talking about my knight, I'd either have it in the Games Workshop case where it is now, but I'll probably just get a box and do it myself. I'm not going to pay 50 quid just to transport my knight. I'll just do it myself, do it on the cheap. And I've got a mixture really. I've got a mixture of all. So I've got some of it still in cardboard, with like bubble wrap and stuff around it, like the 88mm anti-tank gun, because it's got such a big base. I haven't got any room for it at the moment. Hopefully Christmas. Hopefully my lovely other half, she's listened to what I said the other day, and I hinted at maybe another Tabletop Tyrant case and with the custom loadout, which I sent to her in a link, so hopefully she bought me that and then I can fit it in there. But I've got stuff in there, like I say, in the cardboard stuff. I've got most of my bolt action and SPQR are inside the Tabletop Tyrants, but my Games Workshop stuff, so like my Thousand Suns, Orcs, and see, I've got so many armies I can't even think. Eldar are all in there, and I'll probably end up putting my Tau in the Games Workshop stuff. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that because obviously I've got the cases already. I'm not going to buy custom cases extra if I've already got the stuff. But you can on tabletop. I keep saying Tabletop Tyrant because that's the case that I use, but it is actually Tabletop Tyrant when I look at it. Yeah, the Tyrant army figure case is the one I use. But on their website they do custom slot bases and all that sort of jazz, which is really, really cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Yeah, I've had good service from them. But if I was to recommend a case to go with, at the minute, I've seen the KR cases. If you want to spend the money, have custom stuff, custom slots to fit your stuff in, KR's the way to go. Definitely for that side of things. Or if you just want like bolt action like the guys, the men, and all that, Tabletop Tyrant, cheapest option. And I'm sure a lot of people will probably agree. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling on today. Like I say, I'm on call. I'll probably be getting called out again. It's stupid o'clock in the morning, but there we go. It's my career choice. But But yeah, hopefully one day, you never know, I might be able to do this full time. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I'd be very happy with that. But yeah, that's everything. That's everything for today. This week, Wednesday, I'll probably end up doing maybe a short video, or maybe a live. Well, no, I'm not doing a live stream Wednesday because I'm on call. So this Wednesday, there'll either be a quick video on something, or there won't be a video at all. If I get time, I'll definitely do one. Tell a lie, there is a video Wednesday. I know what it is already. I need to go and see Liam, because Liam's done a video on unboxing something, which you can probably already guess what it is. It'll be a bit late to the party, but you'll get to see Liam's honest reaction. And if he hasn't done it, guess what he's doing now? Sorry, Gambo. And Friday's going to be Contrast Africa Core. So I will I'll be filming it Friday. It'll be released on Saturday. So I'll be filming it Friday night, Saturday night. Saturday it will be coming out, because I'll have to edit it and things like that. So yeah. Well, that's everything for this week. Like I say, that's the first bit of the challenge down. Happy days. If you head over to the Facebook group, you can obviously see a custom thing that I've done of how everything's progressing. And we've also got Patreon. I need to remember to plug that because I keep forgetting. But yeah, if you feel like donating or whether it is becoming a Patreon, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. And we will see you again next Monday. Bye.